All right, cool. What's your name? How old are you? And where are you originally from?
My name is Judelle. I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi originally. I grew up in Long Beach. Now I'm 55 years old, and I hope I make it to be 56. I hate to be out here at this age, but shit happens. I didn't get here by one thing. I got here by two or three things, as a matter of fact. And kids, I want to say this to y'all. This does not get you here by graduating from high school. It get you here by not going to school, not going to college, doing what your parents ask you to do, or not doing what your parents ask you to do, because you're not grown. So one moment you will be sleeping in your bed, next moment you'll be sleeping on the ground. And homelessness is not a joke. It's not a joke at all. So what you need to do is focus on your life, focus on your future, because your future can be here in the streets. We don't want that. Your parents don't want that. The community don't want that. We want you to grow up and be doctors, lawyers, people who are outstanding in life.
And Drew, how was your life growing up for you?
My life was I was a spoiled child. My aunties and my cousins, they were mad at me. They were really mad at my mother because she built this monster. She made me out of monster because all she did was spoil me. I would get into it at school and stuff like that. It was the principal's fault, not my fault. But all the time it was my fault. I would get into it with people on the street, guys on the street. My mom thought they were picking on me, but they were not. I was gang banging. She didn't know it. I got stabbed one night and I ran home and I told my mom and she said, "What happened, boy?" I said, "I got stabbed." She said, "They stabbing you?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, why?" I said, it was a random thing, but it wasn't a random thing. I was gang banging. This happened in Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi is a place of where people raise you to be kind and nice, but it changed.
And what's your current living situation right now?
My current living situation is that right now I'm homeless on the street right now. I've been homeless for the past 4 or 5 years, maybe 6. I lose count. I really don't think about it because it does not feel good to actually know that you've been homeless for so many years. Sometimes, as a matter of fact, it took me a long time to actually eat off the street, meaning the food that the people bring. It took me forever because I didn't want to become part of it. I didn't want to come part of it. So there was a lot of things I was not doing. But then I changed my mind because sometimes I'm always hungry. So when you're hungry, you're going to eat whatever you need to eat to fulfill your appetite, you know. But then I started eating the food on the street and I just started doing what they do, you know, washing clothes outside, being everywhere, just doing stuff that you don't normally do.
What's one of the hardest parts about being homeless out here?
Well, one of the hardest parts about being homeless is when I got to shit, when I got to use the bathroom. When I got to use the bathroom, there's no place to do it, so we got to shit behind the building, behind a tree, and that's not good. That's not for human beings to do that. But we have to do what we have to do. And when it rains, my God, it pours. Worse on us when it rains. And when it's hot, you cannot run from that heat. It's there. It is there. So what we try to do, we try to go undercover, get shelter, shade. But guess what? The business owners or the business workers, they run us off. So it's like we can't beat the heat. We can't hide from the rain. We can't do anything but get wet and burn the fuck up.
So when you're out here and it's 115 degrees, it's just hot, right?
It's really hot. It's really hot. And those are the times that is one of the moments or one of the times that come to mind where it's like, I hate that I'm here. Where do I go? Where do I go back? Is it because I thought I was a player back in the days? I thought I was smart in school. I thought I was the shit. But no, I was none of that. I was heading for this. This is what I was heading for. And I don't blame it on my mom, but she had a lot to do with this because Well, number one is of course, I had a father, but he was not there. So there was a lot of things that I was not taught because we all need father figures in our life, male figures. And these are people that help us get through life and prevent.
How do you feel emotionally? Like, what's your outlook on life right now, being in this situation?
My outlook on life is I want to get my life back together. I'm 55 years old. I do hope I have time enough to do that. I don't want to see myself out here, and I don't want my kids to see me out here either like this. But hey, it is what it is. Life can be better. It's what we make of it. So we got to do what we got to do to make it better and not make it worse. Is a thing in life where it prevents you from going places, climbing. We have to climb. We don't want to go down. We want to go up, and that's the best place.
Do you ever feel like it's over or like you've been defeated? I know you still want to see a positive outcome, but do you ever feel sometimes like that depression or that you just lost?
At times I feel, but I'm a very strong man, and I know this. So I try to keep in mind of my mother. My mother's dead now. She died at the age of 55. I was in the penitentiary at the time. This was 1999. My mom keeps me strong. God, number one, he keeps me stronger. My father, he was not around. He's a dirty bastard. It wasn't true. It wasn't right for him to do that. He had 27 kids. He was not father to neither one of them. I know that I'm going to do better because it's in here. It's in here. So when you think of things that made you, you want to reflect back on them, and it helps a lot. It helps a lot. It helps you out of these situations. And when you're in these situations, just think of these good things. Think of your grandmother. Think of your kids. Think of your little girl growing up. And you'll realize that, wait a minute, I need to get out of this situation. But we think that, but we don't do it.
While out here, what's one of the scariest situations that you've been through?
Well, I really have not been through any scary situations. However, there are times that I may have been afraid, like going in the wrong area on the wrong street. There's a lot of prejudice out here, and it still is. And what we seem to do, if we're on drugs, we do this, we do that, we do fatty, we do rock, we do cocaine. We go into these neighborhoods. And so when we go into these neighborhoods, you have to take God with you because anything will happen to you. So it's like those moments are kind of, they're not really scary because I grew up in this type of shit. I'm the one, along with others my age, corrupt the neighborhood. And it's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. And it's probably my fault where most kids are out here today on drugs. And I believe that it is. Not just me, but others that paved the way for them. No, paved the way in a way, but paved the way in a bad way. And it's not a pretty sight at all because these kids should have been the kids of the future as being doctors or lawyers and whatever. But no, now they're on drugs. And I blame myself. I do blame myself for that.
And Drew, what led you to start using drugs, and how did that kind of come about?
Well, at the age of 16, I started smoking weed. First smoke weed, it makes you laugh. It feels good. Everything is like enhanced. But then you get tired of the weed and you want more. You feel like you want more, and people are influenced by you, and they want you to try what they try because they're bored and they need other people to help them make their high better. So when you on weed, something like marijuana or something, and you don't feel like it's doing anything for you, then I don't suggest you go any further because marijuana is the door to other drugs. We all know that. So what we have to do is realize that these other drugs, see, what you have to do is watch movies, the street, and watch people. Like, go around and watch the homelessness and see how they live. And I bet you by the time you get back to the house, you'll change your life. And And drugs is not a good thing. It can get you in jail, can get you in prison, you can die from it, and that fatty stuff, that fentanyl stuff, whatever they call it's a killer. It's a monster. It's taking over. It's killing people. Some of you out there, your parents, your siblings, your cousins, your relatives probably may have died from it. And it's not a good thing. Crack in the 80s, it destroyed families. Moms selling their kids, just all kind of crazy stuff. And drugs is not a good thing. Don't even try it at all. So if you smoke marijuana, just stay there. And if you don't smoke marijuana, don't do marijuana at all, because it will lead you down the road, up the road to something bigger and worse than marijuana. So just maintain life as it is and want to do better. That's it. Just want to do better.
Have you gotten any like health issues from using drugs since for such a long time?
No, I'm not actually gotten into any bad situations for as my health issue goes. But sometimes it makes you tired. It drains you, takes all your vitamins and your nutrition out, so you have to eat more, double eat, maybe 4 to 5 times a day in order to put those vitamins back. And sometimes we don't have the money because we use the money for drugs. And we can't really put it back because there's no food there and we don't buy anything. And what we do sometimes is we panhandle, or we go into these restaurants and we know what time they close. So we go there and we be there and we ask for the food that they have left over from the day.
And how do you make your money while you're out here?
Well, I make my money in a lot of different ways. One way is not good enough because you have a lot of things you have to do. So I have many ways. I sell drugs. I panhandle. I sell items, makeup, women clothing, or whomever it may be. It can be a male, kids. And how I obtain these things is I go in and I boost. I steal, but I'm not a thief. I do what I have to do in order to get by and survive in the situation that I am in.
And do you have any like family or friends that help you while you're out here?
Well, I do have family. I don't know about the friends, but I do have family. My niece especially. During my birthday, I called them, and she reminded me that when I was first homeless, and I was first homeless in San Bernardino, right? And I went to live with her, but she was moving out of state. And what happened there is, that's when I became homeless. It helped along with drugs and other things. Um, my niece looked out for me. She sent me money. My niece loved me very much. I know that. That's QT. Her name is Quad Ty. That's why I named her QT, Quad Ty. Hey, Kai. She looked out for me, and she was there. She sympathized, and she had remembered. She was driving. She was pulling up in the liquor store, right? And I was walking by. I was pushing a basket, a cart, right, full of little shit. And she didn't realize it was me. She told me that she said some bad things about me and didn't even know it was me. So she realized that it was me when we went into the store, and she looked at me and she started crying. So when she started crying, I knew she had sympathized, and I knew she loved me, but she didn't realize it was me that was crossing her path. So she reminded me of that. And when she tells me that, it hurts her because I can feel it. I can hear it in her voice. So I try to make her understand that this is what it is. Life is full of surprises, not good surprises, not just good surprises, but bad surprises. And shock, you'll be shocked. 1 minute you'll be at work, living in your home. Next minute you'll be on the street. So you got to think about the future, not just the present.
What do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about people struggling with homelessness and like addiction?
Well, first of all, they think we're all bad people. That is the great misconception that they have about us. And we can't be trusted either. Don't let them around. Don't let them in the house. Leave them alone. Don't talk to them, or you'll be just like them. Don't tell these people that, because when they're growing up, you are embedding this stuff in these kids' life. So you tell them good things about these kids or these homeless people and the people that are on drugs. They were doctors. They had a life. Don't be like them, but learn from them.
And then what would you say to anyone that's considering on using drugs? If someone's at that standpoint where they're thinking about it and maybe they're on the path to this life, what would you say to them?
Well, what I would say is, if you are thinking about doing drugs, don't do it. Think about it. And like I said earlier in the interview, just go out and watch these homelessness and watch them do drugs and watch how they get out. Because if you're homeless, you're doing drugs, you're making your life even worse. So what you do is you learn from what you see. We can learn a lot from a dummy, can't we? We sure can. So don't do any drugs, because it makes life even worse. You think you got it under control, but you don't. Because the next day, tomorrow, you'll be selling your shit and you won't even know it. It'll hit you so hard. And you'll find yourself either dead, in jail, in prison, or anywhere in these situations where you do not want to be.
Drew, how's it feel to lose everything? Like your personal belongings, your relationships, your family, your friends?
Well, with me, I'm a go-getter. So what I do is, I've lost a lot. I've lost over 300 phones in this situation. When I say this, I'm not over-exaggerating. I like music. I love music. When I lose my phone and stuff, feel like I lost my life. Speakers, other little things I hear, I've lost so much, but I'm so used to it. What I do is I know I can get it. I know how to get it. So I get up and go back and get it again and start over. However, it doesn't work because I lose it again and again and again, or someone may steal it. So I go through it. I really go through it. And the days are even more boring and worse out here without music. And it kills me.
And what's one thing or some things that are positive that you hold on to keep you pushing to the next day?
Who I am, where I came from, who my mom is, and my kids, and where I can be at tomorrow, and knowing that I'm going to be off these streets soon. As soon as I can probably get off these drugs, life could be better.
And do you have a goal of eventually getting off these drugs?
Yes, I do. I do have a goal. I want to get off the drugs, but I like them. I like meth. I like how it makes me feel. I like what it does. I like meth being in my life. It's like my friend. It's like my best friend. But it's not a good friend. So my goal is to stay focused, think about my kids, know who I am, look straight ahead, and know that I'm the man that's gonna get off these streets one day soon.
And if you could go back and give a younger version of yourself some advice, what advice would that be?
Don't think I'm all that. Don't think I'm that smart, and I'm not. Don't think I just can go out there and manipulate the system or anyone. Don't think I'm the shit. Don't think I'm just the man that can just move mountains, but I could because I can't. This is what we think when we're kids, and we don't know that these things are going to get us down the wrong road or the right road.
And if you could have any person watch this video, who would that be, and what do you want to say to them if they can see this video?
Actually, I would want to say it to my kids and my niece. Y'all see how it is? I mean, I still look good. Don't get me wrong. I still dress nice. I still wear all this, but I'm homeless here and here. So when you see this, knowing that anything can happen. Today you can be working, tomorrow you can be homeless. So don't forget that. Stay focused, and believe in God, because He's the navigator in our lives.
And Drew, you're okay with us using this for like YouTube, social media,
Yes, I
spread the
am.
awareness?
Absolutely.
By any chance, do you have a Cash App?
I do not.
Okay.
But it's simple to put one on there. I've had it, but I don't use. I lose my phone so much where I don't have time to do anything.
Got it. Okay. A lot of times I like to attach that Cash App if someone wants to send you that blessing.
Right.
They can. Okay.